Do you think agencies in the last 5-7 years have really kept pace with what's happening in media? Have they retooled, rejuvenated themselves to really be of value to you as much as they used to be valued 10 years back?
So agencies is a fairly large word that you've used.
Creative
so
agencies and media agencies. Okay.
Okay, so I'll separate out creative and media. So I think let me talk about creative first. I think creative agencies continue to do what they have to do, which is creative. And if consumers have changed, if the world has changed, I think the onus is on the client to make sure that that is captured well in a brief, and creative is briefed about it. Creative, of course, will always keep looking for stimulus for them to get new ideas, new thoughts, and I don't think there is any creative person who doesn't keep abreast of general social trends, because otherwise their ideas will just get outdated. And I think that that's something that creative continues to do. And I think completely, I would say that, there's an old saying that your agency, you deserve the agency you get. And I think I completely stand by that. So I think there is no, the path for us to arrive at this advertising was very, very tough. I think we've had our shares of, tears, laughter, screaming, shouting, everything, fights, all that has happened. But I think you have to persist, you have to write a good, strong brief, you have to be single-minded. And I remember somebody asked me that how many times did you see the script and what refinements did you make, etc. But from the first time that Balki narrated the script to the first time he showed us the film, we did not make even one change. Not one change. We didn't say, isko badal do, ya ye script mein ye nahi theek, wo kar do, because I think that's not our job. That is the job of the agency. Our job is to write a brief and judge the creative. Does this deliver on my brief? That's it.
Is social media worth the attention we are giving? Isn't it a little frivolous, especially for a category like you? Or you use it to act as a listening post?
Well, see, if you just look at it from a media perspective, if a person is spending time at a certain destination, then you want to be there. So I think I'm not passing a sort of a value judgment on whether social media is good, bad, ugly, I don't know. I mean, some of the TV programs are pathetic. But we put our ads there because people are watching it, right? So I think you have to look at it from a media perspective. You have to see if people are spending their time there, if they are engaged there, then you want to be there. And you find ways to be there in an engaging manner. I agree that banking is seen or perceived to be very, very sort of serious business. But like I mentioned, I think we should not take ourselves very seriously. And there's one thing that we never compromise on, which is trust, because that's the core of the banking industry. But you have to engage with customers in a language they understand. Frankly, customers do not understand AQBs. I don't know how many of you here know what AQB is, but I definitely didn't till I joined the bank. It's the average quarterly balance that you're supposed to maintain. And, people don't know interest rates and they don't know DD, FD, RD, all these things. Nobody's interested. So the bank has to stop talking and start listening.
Do you see an increased role for analytics and money being diverted from media to analytics?
Well, we have a large analytics team. It's called the Business Intelligence Unit. It's a large team which operates independently. They don't report to me. And they do a lot of analytics not only on consumers' propensity and what they're likely to buy, but also from a risk perspective to understand which customer is likely to default, etc. I don't think that these two teams are fighting over the same set of money. So I don't think that's the case at all.
Sure.
I do think that cross-sell, upsell is an important objective for the bank and for the marketing teams. Just like premiumization is an important objective for FMCG or for tangible teams. I mean, you're constantly saying, wo banda Sibaka le raha hai, let's get him to buy CDC, CDC le raha hai, let's get him to buy Total, Total le raha hai, let's get him to buy Sensitive. So I think it's pretty much the same, and it's really what drives any business.
Do you see a change in the role of CMO today? And going forward, do you see a major shift?
So I think I have a year to go now, since it's down to 36 months. So thanks for sharing that statistics with me. I think, I have a little bit of a different view because the CMOs I've seen in the past were in the FMCG world, and now I am a CMO in a financial services world. So I see the two things to be a little different. I think the important thing for any CMO is to be well integrated into the business.
Sure.
I think you cannot be running, in FMCG, of course, you run the business, and in a banking, financial services, or any other, you cannot be doing a marketing thing just in silos.
Sure.
I think the other big trend that I see is a declining quality of talent. And I think CMO's role, very importantly, is to build talent within the team and also to share learnings, best practices, and actually get the team to think at a level which they may not do otherwise. I think this is a very, very important role. And lastly, I would say, cross-functional teamwork is the most important thing for any C. So you can be CMO, CEO, anything.
CIO.
But I think any, C-level manager, it's very important to not work in silos to ensure that there is strong cross-functional teamwork. Because if there's one thing I tell my team every day, it is, हम अकेले कुछ नहीं कर सकते.